Where were you when you realized the beauty of the land we live upon? When you realized that without this land, without farms, without crops or livestock, we would starve. We as humans would cease to exist. But maybe that would be the escape we despicable humans deserve. We continue to farm onward, however, so we'll have to make do with another escape in the form of Harvest Moon 64. Allow me to recall my youth. I distinctly recall flipping through a Nintendo Power issue with my stepbrother and sister in 1999. We were playing a lot of fighting games at the time. Not good ones, mind you. We were playing things like Flying Dragon, Clay Fighter 63 and a Third, and Xena Warrior Princess The Talisman of Fate. Each for reasons I still don't quite understand. We needed an escape from all that senseless and, well, bad violence. And while turning the pages of that sacred tome, we stumbled upon this ad. Our fates were sealed. We knew we needed that game. There was just something about it. It looked so inviting, and it satisfied. Oh yes. Harvest Moon 64 was the third game released in Nicktoons Harvest Moon series, and it was the first to feature any kind of three-dimensional graphics, or something like them at least. Like other games in the series, you're given the task of restoring your grandfather's farm to its former glory. You will break rocks, you will chop wood, there will be animals, and romance. Sometimes both. As I said, you are initially given the vague task of restoring the farm, but you'll soon find other activities to pass the time. Fishing, mining, horse racing, swimming, socializing. That last one in particular, really. One of the most important features of these games is the ability to court. Wait. Who is this beautiful woman? Where is she going? Why is she so cold towards me? This beautiful creature, this Karen, she'll be my wife, I vow to the stars. She shall rule beside me as queen of my vast agricultural empire, and I shall wear a lover's smile as she crushes these peasants' heads beneath her exquisite hiking boots. A traditional romantic gesture. A flower, no. This shall be difficult. Oh wait, there we go. Yeah, show her the dog. All she needed was to see the D and then, cool, married. Alright. There are several eligible bachelorettes, each with her own personality and preferences, and admittedly most of the replay value is found in this aspect of the game. Dating aside, most of the game's characters are charming enough, and while they do often repeat the same phrases over and over, they all seem to have some actual reason to exist in the game. The characters in this game do seem to have genuine problems and trials they must overcome, and it's pretty interesting to watch them grow along with you as you progress. I'm pretty sure this is the only E-rated game where you can get completely schmammered. The graphics are simple but charming. Functional would be a good description, I think. This game came out during a time when other game series were making the vast leap to 3D graphics in strange and awkward ways. But Harvest Moon chose to stick to an isometric view with some 3D models and environment. It certainly helped the game to age a little better visually, at least in my opinion. Suffice to say, no Harvest Moon has ever been renowned for its photorealism. This was the first Harvest Moon game to allow you to move diagonally, and while it's nice for actually moving around the village, it does make the actual act of farming itself a bit clumsy at times. Water the plants, oops, water the ground. Oh hey, already watered that one. Well, I'll water the ground again. There we go. I didn't want to keep that eggplant anyway. Fortunately, while you're on the farm, you have the option of rotating the camera to the more traditional Harvest Moon camera angle, which does make basic tasks a little bit easier. Seems like a cemetery for animals. Oh God, Grandpa was a dog. Speaking of farming, you have the ability to grow various types of vegetables with different varieties for each season. You use various tools to work the land, most of which can be upgraded simply by using them over time. Or you can go in the bar and grind by hitting the floor until you're exhausted, then drink water for free. Repeat until all your tools are golden or the numbing boredom takes you. Just don't accidentally buy wine on day one and spend all your starting cash like I did. Once you level your tools up, you can charge them up for a slightly quicker removal of stumps or more efficient plant watering. The hammer also deafens every ear for miles at full charge. The music and sounds are pretty terrible. The music itself isn't particularly awful, but the way it's implemented is. It starts over every time you enter a new area, even if it's the same song that was playing before. It just keeps starting over and over until you lose your sanity. Yeah, this is the sort of game you play while listening to music of your own choice. I personally chose Sad Wings of Destiny by Judas Priest, and I think that worked out well enough. What is this thing? One famous or infamous quality that Harvest Moon 64 has is its frantic pace. It reflects life pretty well, actually. There just isn't enough time. In order to really master this game, you have to become a pro at time management. It takes only a couple of minutes for a day to go by in this game, so it's hardly the relaxing farming game it appears to be. Once you get the hang of it, just try going back through and attaining a perfect score at the end. I assure you it's not easy. It takes a lot of planning and patience by the pound. If you get hit by a storm in the summer or it rains on a particularly important day, you might as well start over. In addition to the charming of different wives, this is where the vast bulk of the game's replay value comes in. You start to really adapt to the game's time restraints, and you eventually figure out a routine that lets you get the most out of your day. That's not to say that you can't play this in a relaxed manner. It just seems like it was really meant to be played at redline all the time. Kind of weird for a game about farming and romance. Some complaints. There we go. Many other Harvest Moon games let you swap quickly between tools by pressing down on a directional pad or what have you. This game lacks this for some reason. It's not that they ran out of buttons by any means. There's a D-pad on the controller that isn't even utilized at all in this game, like a lot of N64 games actually. You also have to rewater the plants if you harvest them while it's raining. Does not grammar well. Horse gets in your way. Don't turn to channel 3, you'll crash the game. Karen, I'm tired of these rice balls for breakfast every morning. Or are they donuts? Harvest Moon 64 was a bit of an oddball game at the time it first released. The 90s were known for ridiculous, over-the-top games, but it also gave us the comfier sandboxes like The Sims, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and the ocean of business management games that would follow it, as well as a quaint little series known as Harvest Moon. Harvest Moon 64 is commonly hailed as one of the best games in the series, and while it's probably not the absolute best, I will agree that it has that certain charm that helps make it my personal favorite, and I'm definitely not the only one who would choose it, I think. But mostly I think it's because at one point I was a kid with a lot more patience and time to sink into it than I have now. And if you have both of these to offer up, Harvest Moon 64 can give you quite a lot in return.